At 68, I thought my life was slowing down. I never imagined I'd be kicked out of my own home by the people I trusted most. But sometimes, the greatest betrayals awaken the strongest comebacks. My name is Harold Hal Thompson. I'm 68 years old, a retired veteran, and I've lived my entire life in the quiet town of Cedar Grove, Ohio. My mornings used to start the same way for decades: a black coffee, the smell of fresh-cut grass drifting from my small garden, the creak of my porch boards under my feet, and the warm smiles frozen in old family photos on the mantle. I spent my life working hard, serving my country, building a home for my family, and staying true to my word. My neighbors know me as the guy who always offers a helping hand, the man who never asks for much in return. But in those quiet mornings, a shadow had begun to stretch over my life, subtle at first, a strange tension in conversations, a sense of unease when I returned home. I didn't know it yet, but betrayal was waiting just around the corner. The betrayal came from the last place I expected: family. Ryan, my nephew, mid-40s, entitled and arrogant, had slowly wormed his way into my trust. He was always impatient with my age, dismissive of my opinions, and mocked the habits I had honed over decades. "Dad's old now, he wouldn't understand. Leave him behind," I overheard him whispering to my sister one day. It stung more than I expected because I'd spent my life protecting these people, sacrificing my health, working double shifts, saving every penny for their future. I had been the one who patched holes in roofs, fixed broken cars, and kept the family afloat when times were hard, and yet, I was beginning to realize that years of loyalty could be twisted into weakness in the hands of someone like Ryan. Something didn't sit right: the strange visitors at my home, unusual legal notices, and subtle manipulations of my finances. The storm was coming, and my gut told me it would not be gentle. Then it happened. I came home one cold evening to an envelope on the kitchen table. Inside were eviction papers, legal documents transferring my house, my life's work, my sanctuary, to Ryan. "You're old, Hal. You've had your time. It's over," he said with a cruel smile. I stood there, holding the eviction notice in one hand and a family photo in the other. My heart ached, a heavy weight pressing down from decades of sacrifice, loyalty, and love. But I didn't scream, didn't lash out. I felt the betrayal settle deep in my chest, a silent storm. I let him have his moment of triumph. I knew that patience, experience, and dignity were my weapons now. I spent the following weeks quietly planning. Revenge wasn't about anger, it was about reclaiming what was mine, not with force, but with calculated wisdom. I reviewed decades of paperwork, tax documents, and legal records. I reached out discreetly to allies, neighbors who had witnessed Ryan's arrogance, old colleagues, even a few family friends who valued integrity. Every phone call, every careful observation, every subtle move built an invisible web around Ryan's schemes. Each day, I moved with quiet determination. I watered my garden, sipped my coffee, read the morning paper, but always with one eye on the storm I was preparing. Years of being underestimated taught me one thing: patience is the weapon no one suspects, I told myself. Ryan began to panic: emails, frantic calls, text messages demanding that I stop interfering. His arrogance cracked with each unanswered message. The small town began to notice changes: neighbors whispering, subtle hints of legal investigations, community members questioning his behavior. Ryan's confidence, once so unshakable, wavered in the face of the silent storm I had constructed. How is he doing this? He's just old, I could hear him muttering, the fear dripping from his voice. Generational arrogance was crumbling, and I stayed calm, older, wiser, and utterly unshaken. The reckoning came at the town hall meeting, a community gathering where Ryan was set to announce a new property development, boasting about his success. I stepped forward, presenting evidence of the illegal transfers, misappropriated funds, and lies he had spread for months. The room went silent, faces shifted from shock to understanding. Applause erupted as Ryan's smug expression crumbled, his entitlement exposed for all to see. In that moment, I felt decades of heartbreak and betrayal transform into something quiet and powerful. The town watched as dignity reclaimed its rightful place, mine. Ryan became isolated, friends turned away, opportunities vanished. Meanwhile, I sat on my restored porch, a gentle breeze brushing my face, watching the sun dip behind the small-town horizon. I reflected on a life spent in service, hard work, and loyalty. Integrity and patience had outlasted arrogance and greed. I had learned a lesson many only discover too late. Dignity is something no one can steal if you refuse to surrender it. To anyone watching this, remember, life can test you at any age, and betrayal can come from those closest, but resilience, patience, and integrity are timeless weapons. No matter the years behind you, no one can take your dignity unless you let them. Never let them. If this story moved you, share your own experiences in the comments, and subscribe for more stories of real-life courage, late-life triumph, and justice reclaimed.